This video is going to look at merging data extracts that you have extracted from the JCMS using the export function. All of this information can be found in the user guide. Hang on. Down here, it's in the end of the book. So I jumped down there. And I will go through these steps on the screen so that you can see how they work. If you watched the last video, we talked about some of the different variables that are in the exported Excel sheets and what you can do with them without merging them. But there may be a reason to merge sheets together. I think probably the number one reason that comes to my mind is wanting to look at specific fiscal years worth of data, which you would only be able to do if you merged the program specific table. In this case, I have diversion up on the screen with the other spreadsheets that were extracted. Without merging anything and just using the referral date, you could get a count of the number of referrals and the number of enrollments, as well as discharge reason, so successful or unsuccessful or refused. You can do all of that without merging anything. But if you wanted to look at a specific fiscal year's worth of demographic information, if you wanted to know the grades that the youth were primarily in your truancy program, if you wanted to do to look at the referral reason in a different program type and compare that to the scores on the assessment that you gave them, you would need to merge the different fields together. To start with the merging process, you need to have your files saved from when you exported them out. And you need a blank Excel workbook. You start by going to the Data tab up here, and then over here where it says from text CSV, so it will download from the JCMS as a CSV file. So you click that button and find where you saved what you want to look for or what you want to be merging. So in this case, I'm going to merge a diversion profile and import it. And another screen will pop up with a preview. Hit load. And you can see it loaded this table. They named it what it was, so it was demographic profile, and everything that was there is now in here. Okay, so now figure out what we want to merge it to. So what I'm doing in this scenario is I want to look at the race breakdown by fiscal year. So I go back to my blank page, go back to data from CSV. So I'm going to need the program specific worksheet that has the referral date information in it. So I'm going to import that one. I'm going to load that one in. So now I have both of these in here. Okay, next step, under the Data tab, go under Get Data, down to Combine Queries, and Merge. This will pop up another window, and the tables that you have loaded, so if you've loaded all 12 of them or whatever, they're all 12 going to show up. I would recommend going one at a time like this. You pick which one you want to start with. So I'm going to put the profile one first, just so the profile ID is right there. And I plan to merge it to diversion. All right. Then you have to click on what the common variable is. So between these two sheets, the common variable is the profile ID. You may get this message, read through it. It's a privacy message. Select the appropriate privacy level for your needs. So now I've told it I want to merge these two spreadsheets based on this profile ID. There's a join kind field down here. If you look at the different options, it tells you this top one would be first, the bottom one would be second. So like this first one says left outer will take all from the first and just match things from the second. I don't want that. I want all of them from everything. So I'm going to pick full outer and hit OK. It popped up another, let me move it over here. This screen popped up, and basically this is asking me, how do I want this to look? So the very last column is, this is the first table. So you can see these are all the variables that were on that demographic profile. The other table right now is all in this one column, but I don't want that. I want them all. So you got to click these arrows here and it will ask what all you want. So if you don't want to have the profile ID in twice, you could unclick it here. If you don't need to know the program code, you can take it out. There's also a checkbox down here where it will put the original column name as a prefix. So it'll make the naming system a little bit different. Your preference, click or unclick, and then you hit OK down here. And it's now got everything here. Because I left that box clicked, now you can see it says diversion referral date, diversion referral source, because it's taking the name of that table, which was diversion, and throwing it in there so I remember which table it came from. If you're happy with how it looks, hit close and load. And those two merged tables are now in your original spreadsheet, labeled merge 1 down here. You can always rename your tabs if you need to. Okay, so now I have these two tables merged together. Again, if this was your screen, you would have the names and the actual date of birth up here. But you can see, if you select just this first row, you can scroll across and see now the name of the youth, their race, gender, the day they were referred, everything from that other section, their discharge date. This is the discharge reason. Again, as I said in the earlier video, discharge ID is discharge reason. Sometimes they're not named exactly the same on the screen as they are behind the scenes, which is what comes across. So there's all those fields there. So now I would be able to do what I set out to do, in that I wanted to filter out a certain year. In this case, we're just going to look at 2022. Oh, we only have one kid in there. So in the calendar year of 2022, we go back to the code book, figure out the race ID. I have the code book up on my other screen, so I can see that option 5 is white. And so I know that I had one white male referred in calendar year 2022 in the diversion program. I'm going to unfilter this to bring all of my cases back up. Okay, so you can merge as many tables or different tables together as you want or need to accomplish whatever question you're trying to answer. Should be noted that in the demographic tables, they will have the profile ID, but the program specific ones will not. Like all these ones are the tabs. They have what is called the diversion ID. Or whatever program you're looking at, program ID. So right here you can see this, hold on, let me find that screen again. This one, this program specific referral and discharge information sheet will have both the profile ID and the diversion ID. So if you're wanting to link anything from the demographic tables to the tab tables, you're going to need to add in this table as well, just to get these ID numbers. So again, if you want to merge the school information in on this one, you go back and get your text from CSV, let's get the education tab in here. Load that one in. Okay, so now that it's down there, that's an option that I can use. Go back to the data tab, combine, and merge. So now this merged one is an option. So if you want to merge more things into that one original merged spreadsheet, you can, or you can pick, if you want to say, I want to know the education. I'm going to do this the other way. I want to know how many kids were enrolled by grade. Make sure you get that profile ID selected. And again, this screen will come up. Going to expand them all out. This time I'm going to take off this column name so you can see the difference. You see how it doesn't have that other diversion qualifier in front of it. Close and load that up. And now I have my second merge table. So these are two different things that I can look at. I could have merged the education table with the other one, but I just wanted to show you that you can merge different things in at the same time. Jumping back to that first merge that we did, I just want to point one thing out that could possibly happen. If you are working with older cases where we had the add case to profile functionality still in, so this would be prior to January of 2020, you may have entered or added a second case to a client's profile. So that would mean that there would be one profile ID, but different diversion cases or family support cases or whatever your program type is attached to that. So in this case, I'm going to highlight these rows right here for you. So this looks like this one kid has 4 separate diversion cases. But if I come over here and look at the diversion ID, these two are the same and these two are the same. Okay, so scroll over, you can see the information is exactly the same across the board. So what happens is when you merge like this, it's called a one-to-many. You have one of over here and you have many of over here. In this case, under this merging functionality, the system will give both of the manys to each of the ones. So I've happened to look this one up in the JCMS, and this profile does have 2 separate diversion cases from back when that was a functionality that was still available. So it took both of the cases and added both of the diversion to them, creating what looks like 4 separate cases, when in reality, it's one youth going through diversion twice. So if you're trying to sort this out and you're working with the export function and you're getting anomalies like this, just take a look, scroll over, go back to the original file, look at the JCMS. It might give you the answers that you're looking for to sort that out. I also loaded in a diversion case plan to show you that the tabs can also have that many thing. I have not merged it, the one-to-many. I have not merged this in with anything, but if you can see here, there's this diversion ID. So this is the same time through diversion. And this is an old case plan activity tab. So these would be, we'd have to look up the codes for this and figure this out, but on this date, this different activities took place. So if you were to merge this together, the same thing could potentially happen where it would look like all of a sudden your one client, 3, 4, 5, had 5 diversions, when in reality it was one client on one diversion with 5 activities. So again, it's very helpful if you're new to this, merge one thing at a time, try to figure out what you need to without merging if that's even possible, and then look back at the original sheets and look in the JCMS. And if you're still completely stumped, you can always reach out to us at the Crime Commission for help. Thank you.